Hello, my name is Stacy Kennedy, and I'd like to show you test 56, problems 21 through 30. I'll be using Anki software. We open Anki, we click 21 through 30, hit study now. Brings up problem 21. Given the statement, if I live in Chicago, then I live in Illinois, which of the following must be true? Okay, as you go through there, you can eliminate the false ones. Okay, you have to test each statement and be careful of the word if. Okay, if I don't live in Illinois, I don't live in Chicago, answer E is the correct term. Problem 22 is a very common problem. They have this on about every second or third test. Basically, we got 3 foot 8 inches. We're going to cut it in the middle. Okay, you can look at it as 1 foot 6 inches plus 4 inches is 1 foot 10 inches is the easy way if you want to do it in your head. Problem 23, we're looking at laying floor tiles that are 9 inches by 9 inches to cover a rectangular hallway 15 foot by 6 foot wide. First, we draw our picture, calculate 15 foot is actually 180 inches, 6 foot is actually 72 inches, and then divide out how many tiles do we need to cover that area. Okay, number 24, we have an equation of a circle problem, and we're asked to find that angle at O. Okay, the equation of a circle tells us that the center point has to be at positive 2, 0. Okay, we draw our right triangle, and we can figure out that our hypotenuse is 2, our radius is 1. Okay, and then we can figure out the angle by using sine as opposite over hypotenuse. Okay, in problem 25, we have one square whose side length are x and x. A second square has side lengths is x minus 2 and x minus 2. If you add their areas together, what's the sum of their areas as far as an expression of x? And we solve it out like this. One of the key points here is to identify the problem. They said square, okay, in the problem. So that's how we know the side lengths are the same. Okay, problem 26, they give us a standard a line equation, but it's all in fractions, and they ask the slope of this line. So what we need to do is get it to the y equals mx plus b format, get rid of the fractions. Easiest way is multiply everything by 4, okay, and then solve for y on one side by itself, okay, and that's negative 20 divided by 6, which would be negative 10 divided by 3. Okay, problem 27 is a little complicated problem. We've got a student, I'm going to call him student K, has an internet site. He makes money off people 2 ways. He charges them listing fee, and then he also charges them a selling fee. Okay, so now we take student Lucy. She sells a jacket on student K's site. She has a starting price of $6.25 and then a final sale price of $34.20. How much does she end up paying student K? Okay, for her listing price was $6.25, so she actually had to pay 50 cents for that. And then when the selling price was $34.20, we had to look it up, and she had to pay 5% of the $44.20. So we get those two amounts, we add them together, and she had to pay $2.21. Important to read number 28. The question is, how many items had to be were possibly be listed with a starting price between $5 and $19.99. Okay, his total fee was $5.75. If every item between 5 and 19 had a listing fee of 0.50, okay, how many would be the total possible number of items that could be sold for that amount? So if student K made $5.75 and we took $5.75 divided by 50 cents, so that would be 11.5 listings. Well, there's no such thing as 11.5. It's going to be 11 or it's going to be 12. So 11 is the maximum number that is possible. Okay, problem 29. It's complicated in their terminology. But if you just skip down there to the bottom, it says x plus y is equal to 116, and then 0.03x plus 0.05y is equal to 4.34. That's a 2 by 2 linear equation. If we solve for x and y there, we come out with y is equal to 43 and x is equal to 73. Okay, that is x, and they also say the initial price is equal to the final price. Okay, so looking at that, we can determine our listing fees is $1 and $2. Okay, problem 30, they give us a cylinder tank. The units are in meters, and they also give us the volume formula, okay? The problem also gives us that 1 cubic meter of water weighs 2,205 pounds. And the question that the problem's asking is how many pounds does all the water in this tank weigh? So this is really a two-step problem. One is we calculate the volume, okay, in cubic meters, and we multiply that number by 2,205, and that gives us the pounds. So step one, we find the volume, it's 565 cubic meters. Multiply that by 2,205, and that becomes how many pounds? That's answer J.